And now, Philipsburg Broadcasting proudly presents Good Morning, Mr. Governor, with Francis Carty.
Good morning, Mr. Governor, Prime Minister and Council of Ministers, Chair Lady of Parliament and parliamentarians, people of St.Maarten. I have received this letter from one of our students that did not return to St.Maarten. The content is self-explanatory and it reads as follows. Dear Mr. Carty, I am a St.Maartener who left as a student years ago and like many others did not return to live and work here. My story is sadly a very typical one and is very apparent by the many students not returning to St.Maarten with their diplomas in hand because of the uphill battle they have to face. Quite frankly, the chances of acceptance and success in a foreign land is much greater than that faced by a native of St.Maarten in their own country. This is indeed a sad statement given that people from all over the world come to St.Maarten every day to make their fortunes. Over the years, I have seen St.Maarten go from a safe island where everyone looked out for each other to a dangerous place where no one even knows one another. A town of unique high-end shopping has turned into a bazaar where you are pulled and shamed into buying cheap t-shirts and are forced to try not to make eye contact as you attempt to take a stroll down Front Street. The island is overrun by illegals and those who have bribed their way in by lining the pockets of government. True St.Maarteners, who are the only ones with a vested interest in the future of St.Maarten, are being squashed, pushed out, and are severely in the minority. The infrastructure cannot handle the growth, and there are no real plans to tackle the traffic, utilities, healthcare, not to mention proper disposal of garbage. No project can get off the ground unless everyone is in agreement on the payoffs that each individual will get. The corruption, unfortunately, is blatant and very well known. We were lucky enough that God gave us the opportunity to be born on a small 37 square mile speck of land on this earth that looks like a paradise. That paradise is being spoiled daily by greed. I've experienced several hurricanes on St.Maarten. There was destruction for a period of time afterwards, no electricity, no school, etc. But what we always had was a beautiful sense of unity where everyone helped out their neighbor with whatever they could spare. Yes, Louis and Irma were both unprecedented in strength, force, and size. But nothing shocked everyone more than the looting and violent behavior that followed. Frankly, I am ashamed when those stories hit international news, and my heart fell for the young St.Maarten students around the world who, through their worry and tears, organized fundraisers and gave their all to help. Finally, Mr. Carty, I come to my point. I am reaching out to you because I know that you speak very openly about issues on the island, including the issue of students not being accepted and given a chance to succeed in St.Maarten, and the overall concern for the future of the island. There is a huge number of St.Maarteners living all around this globe. Some of us are students, and others are already educated, with strong experience and careers under our belts. We have built our reputations on hard work and experience and have prospered in foreign countries, navigating within the laws of the land. We respect authority, expect justice, and contribute to the success of the country in which we reside. Living on the island, living the struggle, and constantly being taken advantage of, you learn to adapt to the changes over time, and it becomes the new normal. Make no mistake, this is exactly what the greed and power is banking on. You don't have to tolerate it all at once, just a bite at a time until you've swallowed it all. With a vested interest, looking in from the outside, the view is very different. We too have concerns, a perspective, and opinions. We all read the newspapers online, follow the elections, and stream radio stations. We too have a voice and would like to be heard. Therefore, I am asking you, Mr. Carty, to consider a radio program which will give all of us the opportunity to be heard. An avenue for the students to state their concerns, a place for us to give our opinions and perspective and make our ideas heard. To anyone who has concerns or dares to say that we don't live there or have been away too long and shouldn't have a say in these matters, I would like to remind them that St.Maarten politicians are lining their pockets every day with money from foreigners who are deciding your future with no vested interest in it, I might add. And to the politicians who have been rotating parties for the last 20 years, making the people of the island poorer while they become richer, I say, don't forget that we have a vote. As a matter of fact, I left with one and now have 3. You see, we now have children, and some of us even have grandchildren, who are all eligible to vote. We cannot be bribed, shamed, or in other way persuaded. Our motives are pure. The stakes are high, and our numbers are large. Mr. Carty, I thank you for your time and consideration of my request. That was a letter to me from one of our students abroad.
That was Good Morning, Mr. Governor by Francis Carty.